Hello, Confidant community. Welcome to Live at 5 with the Financial Confidant. I'm Jackie Porter, your host. And every week, our goal is to make financial conversations accessible. And today, of course, will be no different. How many of you know this song? There's a really interesting fun fact tied to this song that I thought it was cool to bring in for today. If you do know this song, please feel free. Post it in the chat. Now, today is a special episode.
Indeed.
Today's actually a special episode of Ask Us Anything. And so it's not like our normal Ask Us Anything where Jin joins us and we talk about a financial concept. Today, actually, we're going to be learning a bit more about Jin and how he actually serves our clients. So let's get actually into it because you've met Jin before. Jin, I actually picked this song specifically for you. How do you like it? Do you even know this song?
I like it, but I'll be honest, I'll say I actually do not know the song.
Okay, I was asking the Confidant community if anybody knew it. Now, I actually think it's actually Kate Bush, Running Up That Hill. Have you heard that name before or heard the name of the song before, Jin?
Might have. I can't.
Oh, okay. I actually thought of this song because this song actually charted twice over the last few decades. It charted in the 80s. It was like in the top 10 in the 80s, Running Up That Hill by Kate Bush. And then the exact same song went back, charted again during the pandemic. The same song, Running Up That Hill, was being charting again in 2022, 2021. I can't remember which year, but you can look it up. It's a fun music fact. I just thought, isn't that interesting, right? So the old becomes the new, kind of like you and me, right? I always bug you about my existential crisis. So I thought of that song and I thought, isn't it interesting that an old song's charting again? You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I was thinking about you when I picked this one, Jin.
You know what? I think that I was looking it up right now, and turns out this was the song they showed up on Stranger Things, the TV series.
Oh, no way. Okay, I've heard of it. I've never seen it.
Yeah, it sounded a little familiar, so I was trying to figure out where I listened to it. That's probably where I heard it.
Probably.
Yeah.
It's a pretty interesting song. Well, welcome back, Jin. You're always here with us the beginning of the month, so it's really great to have you. So I thought, it's always nice to get to know behind the scenes, get to know people as human beings. And, you kind of came on the scene a few years ago. Now, how long have we known each other now, Jin? I have a terrible memory.
I'm starting to forget as well, Jack.
That's not good. We're in trouble.
I think it's been about 3 years now.
More than 2.
3 years.
3 years. Yeah, definitely 3 years. Okay. I'm not as bad as I thought. And, we have so much history together now. It feels like we've known each other for a long time and we finish each other's sentences. And obviously the people who are watching right now recognize that we even look alike. I mean, it's crazy. Yeah. Who would have thought, right? Yeah. You'd be my twin. Who knew? Yeah. But anyway, I know that the thing is the community does not know you as well as I do. So let's start off with, if you could provide listeners with just an overview of your role as Chief Financial Planner at TJP, Team Jackie Porter, and really just how you cater to our clients. Some of those clients are female entrepreneurs, business owners, female legal professionals. How do you help them?
Sure. So as you mentioned correctly, I'm a financial planner at the team. And what I do is basically I wear many different hats, I'll say.
You do.
One hat I wear is acting as a planner to really build a comprehensive plan for our clients. And the whole process involved in it itself, it's what's really buildable for our clients, the entire financial planning process, not just the plan itself. So that's where I come in, I prepare for the meetings, come up with the questions to think about, to ask our clients, also to help our clients think about what they should consider about their goals and their finance situations. So
Right.
that's one hat I wear, creating a beautiful financial plan for our clients. And the second one is really during the meeting when we present our findings and recommendations, translating financial language into plain language.
Oh, that's huge. I think that that's definitely something we should dig into, because I think even half the reason when we talk to clients about really what's been getting in the way of them looking at their finances or dealing with their finances, jargon comes up a lot, right?
Oh, so much, so much.
People
And
just are overwhelmed around their money, and then they're talking to someone like me or Jin about their finances, and then we're talking what feels like a foreign language to them. So
yeah,
talk about how you help them translate.
exactly. It's something definitely a challenge for us as well. You probably agree with me, Jackie. You've been in the industry a lot longer than me, and all these terms and jargons are so wired into our brain. Sometimes we struggle to explain it in plain language, but the more I work in this role, the more I see the importance of doing that. And it's just really, first of all, uh, it's really truly speaking in terms of plain language. Any language that will be discussed in everyday conversations. That's what I try to do. I try to remove as much of jargons related to the finance, to the investment. Depending on the client, some
Right,
clients might come in with the more knowledge in with the finance investment. They might have been working in the
right.
industry themselves or have prior experience. In those situations, we mix in some of the jargons, but if not, we do really do this by asking a lot of good questions
Right.
and help clients talk about it, speak about it in their own language, and we help them rephrase it so that we help them show the clients what we want to tell them.
Yeah, exactly. I always say to clients, and you've heard me say this as well, I'd rather show you than tell you. Because, some people are more visual learners, and so if we show them, like, here's what the impact of doing this is going to look like versus doing this, you can deal with this or you can deal with that. Right? What do you want to deal with? So it's just trying to break things down in as simplest fashion as we
Mhm.
possibly can, to just make that whole conversation that might feel like this black box. We really want to make it less stressful and more open and more inviting. That's kind of one of the reasons that we even do this live, and we do it with music. Of course, I love to dance. It's awesome. And I love music. But it's also to really make it so that people feel comfortable having a conversation about money. It's not in a sterile office situation. It's really meant to. That's the goal anyway. So of course, confidant community, you can tell me something if you get a different vibe. But that's the reason we do those things. And when we do in meetings, Jin, go into conversations with clients where we start talking, because I've been in the industry a long time, so sometimes I feel like a bit of a refugee in this business. It's just I can't stop. So I'm always asking clients to hold us accountable. Do your best. Like, if you're in the meeting, you've wanted paid to have this time with us to talk about your finances. This is for you. It's not for us. Definitely hold our feet to the fire and say, I don't understand something. Please understand. We want to make sure you get as much as possible when you meet with us, right, Jin?
That's 100% true. And it's oftentimes when we ask for our clients' feedback throughout the meeting, that's when we really hear what's on their mind. If there's anything that didn't make sense to them, then we get to really clarify what we meant in more plain language.
Yeah, that's probably one of the biggest questions is,
Yeah,
what do you want to get out of this meeting?
exactly, exactly.
Anything else you want to share about
Uh,
your role? Because you say you
sure.
wear many hats. Welcome to the world of entrepreneurship.
Another hat is something I didn't expect to do when I first joined the industry was professional nagging.
Talk about that. Talk about professional nagging.
Yeah,
This is a term we use a lot in our
yeah.
office. Anybody know what professional nagging is? If you're one of our clients, you probably do. So talk about professional nagging for us.
I think the name itself really speaks to it. We are nagging, but very professionally, and nagging quite often.
Yes, we're nagging with as much love and kindness as we can offer. The reality is, and Jin knows this well, we deal with a lot of professionals and business owners who are busy. They mean to get to the even to their finances. This is something they want to get to, but often other things come in the way, and this gets farther down their priority list sometimes. And they really, really, it's not that it's not important to them. It's just that it's something that they're going to need support getting to the finish line. And they always tell us how much they appreciate us helping them to get to the finish line. Often when we say to clients, when they come on board with us, you've tasked us, you've now hired us to help you with your finances and make sure you get the goals that you've set for yourself accomplished. So we're going to hold your feet to the fire. Our responsibility is to really make sure that you do get your goals. So professional nagging, if we have to, be prepared. That's some of the things we're going to do to make sure, as any good coach would do, make sure you do get to that finish line that you want for yourself, right, Jin?
Exactly. This is something something we can do as professional advisors as well, right? If someone, let's say your friend or family, they were nagging you, it probably wouldn't go well a lot of times.
Yes, exactly. We can't do this for friends or family. It doesn't work as well.
Exactly. I also have a example where I was giving some financial advice for my friend, and he's a very busy person as well. He's actually a lawyer as well.
There you go. That's why
busy he is, and I knew even if I gave all this advice, I just doubting that he might actually implement it or not. And I think it's already been 6 months, and I don't think he acted on any of them. But as a friend, it's very hard to talk about it every time we meet. But in a professional relationship where we're financial planners, this is something we can do for our clients, and then our clients, a lot of them, I'll say all of them, appreciate what we do at the end of the day when everything does get implemented.
Yeah, it gives them peace of mind, because one of the things that I've heard feedback from clients is they've said, it's so great, especially because these are leaders in their own respective fields. They're just happy when someone helps them take charge, or they take charge. They're like, oh, finally, I don't have to hold the reins everywhere. Someone is helping me. They're partnering with me to take charge of parts of my life that feel harder and feel more challenging, where I feel more vulnerable. And that's why we call ourselves confidants, is to create that safe space where people are like, this is hard. Let's talk about it. Help me, take me through it. This isn't a place I feel as comfortable. I feel as empowered. Help to empower me through that journey to get those things done. So, I really appreciate you sharing that, Jin. I would love to, now that we've, talked about some of the things we do for clients, we'd love to know some fun facts about Jin that people in the community may not know. I know, but they don't know.
Okay. So I've been thinking about these questions, and I've been jotting down a few things. It turns out I'm a lot more interesting than I thought.
Hit me, Jim. Hit me.
Yeah. So first one, it's somewhat related to. It's a good story I want to tell, just because it relates to how I ended up joining this industry, why I decided to pursue this career. And it's the first ever retirement plan I did. It was an unofficial retirement plan, was for my parents.
I remember this story.
That's right. Yeah. So before being a financial planner, I initially started as a corporate finance role, and then some compliance role as well. But my parents were also, interestingly enough, business owners themselves. They've been running business for more than a decade, and they were looking to retire several years ago. And I could definitely see them feeling really stressed about the retirement. It was a big shift from having an income stream to not having income stream, and selling their business, using that to pay off their mortgage, and all this was nerve-wracking for them. So I was telling myself, hey, I know a few things about finance, and stock analysis. I'm pretty good at financial modeling and as well. So why not try building a retirement financial model for my parents? And
mistake number 3, Jen. Mistake number 3.
Exactly. And that's what the first financial plan I ever did. And I don't know if that helped my parents or not. I don't know if they like listening to their younger son.
Yeah, they're like their last kid, the baby. Tell them what to do.
Yeah,
Their
exactly.
baby. Their mom's like, that's my baby. What does he know?
especially from the culture I came from in South Korea. It's a little bit of different culture, and but it not sure it helped, but soon after they did retire. They did
Oh,
some.
good, good. Okay, at least they took your advice. If you are a financial planner listening to this live, you know what it's like working with family. I often advise against it. I just want to go to their homes for the holidays and have a nice meal and not talk about their money. So I often think of family members of people or friends as people you refer rather than work with directly. But if they listen to you and they retired, maybe they didn't implement with you, so much the better, Jin. That's the best
Yeah,
scenario you
telling
could
myself
possibly
as
have.
long as I had at least a tiny bit of influence, I think I did my job.
Amazing, amazing.
Yeah,
And I remember you telling me that was actually one of the things when you interviewed that stood out for me was you telling me the story of helping your parents giving your parents financial advice to help them retire, even though you were not sure if they took it. And I thought that just stuck for me. That was that
yeah,
made you stand out in front of the other candidates, that you, even before you became a planner, you were working in that direction, which was great.
yeah, exactly. And that's also the moment I saw the fun and the value, the meaning really in working the personal finance field. Corporate finance was fun. I stock analysis, building a model for companies. It was something I used to geek out on, and it was definitely a fun part of the job. But it was not something where I could really see and feel the results directly
Hmm.
compared to personal finance, where I am meeting with the clients on day-to-day, everyday basis, helping them with their finances, giving them retirement devices, and really seeing clients implement those was
Yeah.
something that was really meaningful, and that's why I actually started looking into being a financial planner.
Well, as soon as you say that, I just think, tell me, I know the stories in doing this over the last 25 years that really still stand out for me as stories with clients I'm proud of. You've had a few years under your belt now. You reminded me it's around 3 years. What are some of the stories you're most proud of in terms
Sure.
of clients that you've worked with
That,
that stand out for you now that you've been doing this for a little bit?
that's a really good question. A lot of memories come to my mind, but one thing that really stands out is it's about this business client, um, especially more memorable for two reasons. The first is it really demonstrated how we help business owners and clients in those situations.
Right.
So, just to give a bit of background, these clients they were successful business owners. They built the business from the scratch, and the business grew quite a bit. And it came time for them to retire and have a succession planning. So, of course, if they just sold it to a third party, it would have been a lot easier.
Yeah.
They would have probably got the full daily's worth of the business upfront without having to deal with the financing issues. But they had children who were interested in continuing on the business, and it was also in their wishes to keep the business in the family. So but now the issue with that is, as you can imagine, most of the children at their stage of life, they probably don't have enough money to buy out the business.
Yeah, that's the challenge. That was a challenge.
Yeah, it is, and the problem with that is now the risk moves to the parents if the children promise to pay the business price over years. Now the clients are taking on the risk that if the business doesn't go well during those few years, they'll be basically losing their retirement savings.
Yeah, and that was, I remember those meetings. They were very emotional
Very
because
emotional.
they built something that they're going to hand over the reins to their children and hope that they can be as savvy as running the business as they are, so that they can continue to make them these literally what would be pension payments to them. Because the business was their pension. So,
Yeah,
and that's actually one of the risks, right? Is if you have the majority of your assets inside the business, that can be a challenge.
exactly. And we're not talking about small amount of money. It's
Mhm.
multi-million dollar business.
Right, exactly.
And I was also something that I remember was it built resentment within the family as well
Yeah,
sometimes. And
That was a tough one.
that was a tough one for sure. And that's the challenge with succession planning. And that's also one of the reasons why long-term planning in advance can helpful to avoid situations like this.
Yeah, and I remember this plan. It was one of your first business plans that you did, where you were able to show them, here's the minimum number you need to get from the business to
That's right.
maintain your lifestyle. And I remember that plan and how much peace of mind you were able to offer those clients.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, definitely. We what we did was we gave these scenarios on if you ended up getting this much upfront from your children, this is the lifestyle you can afford.
Right.
If you end up getting this much, this is how much. And to maintain current lifestyle, you need at least this amount upfront from the business to continue on with your lifestyle.
Yeah, and I don't think sometimes when you're a business owner, because you've got like this potential piggy bank from your business, you are often as serious as you need to be
Mhm.
about knowing what your lifestyle is going to cost. That you need it for so many different reasons. No, not least of which you need to know what it's going to cost you to live in retirement, so you can do these types of projections and calculations.
Mhm.
So you can get that peace of mind going into retirement that I'll have enough. Do I have enough cash in my business that it'll generate enough income if I sell it? How much can I sell it for? What's the least amount I could sell it for? So I will have enough income to last my lifetime, to last for my retirement. And these days with capital gains tax, what's the most tax effective way to draw that income, to get that income? These are conversations that are definitely that we're tackling with clients. So a couple more things. We're not going to let you get away just yet, Jin.
Just
I would
one
love
more
to
thing
know. Oh, feel free. Are you not
to
done?
add to that story was the reason it was also so memorable was I used to live in the city where they had their first, the second store, I think it was.
Mhm.
And I remember I was an immigrant kid who came to Canada just recently not being able to speak English. And that was one of the first stores I ever visited in the city. And it
That's
was,
crazy.
yeah, it was crazy seeing the business owners as a financial planning clients and me as a financial planner. So that's something that was really memorable for me as well.
Well, that's kind of growth, right? Well, now I even think that Kate Bush song's even more resonant. 20 years before, 20 years later, you know what I mean? And now it's the song's still big, and now you're in a completely different scenario as far as how you're relating to that person that you just knew had a business that was in the same neighborhood as you, and now you're seeing them as someone who you can actually serve, you can actually help,
Yeah,
you can add value to how they're doing things. It was
eh,
great.
exactly. Yeah, it was exactly 10 years after as well. So
Oh, that's funny because I think this song charted
yeah,
80s, 90s, 90s. Yeah, maybe it was longer. Maybe it was like Confidant Community. I trust you. How long ago, if you remember, how long ago did that Kate Bush song song chart? How long ago? What minute? What year? You may want to do it before Jin Googles it. Jin's really good at getting this type of information fast.
on the background.
Exactly. All right. Well, before I let you go, there's still two more questions I want to ask Jin. One is, tell us what you think your superpower is in terms of working with clients.
That's a really good question. I think my superpower is we're breaking down a complex situation into something that is more easier to understand.
Especially
Which,
with scenario planning. Like,
yeah,
I
it's
know
not.
clients say to me all the time, Jin can project almost anything. Like, they really appreciate that about you.
Yeah, thank you, Jackie. And I think that is my superpower, really. When we work with our clients, especially business owners and lawyers, we get a lot of different information right now. We get to look at investment statements, insurance, corporation, tax filing on the personal side, on the corporate side, estate planning. We look at their wills and power of attorney documents as well. So all these, at the end of the day, we really need to boil down to few sentences where we can provide to our clients in regards to the questions they have. So I think that is really my superpower, coming up with a process to help me distill all this information into something one or two
Digestible.
sentences. Yeah, that's digestible and something that really nails on to the questions the clients had.
Yeah, I mean, I know that's the feedback. I've just done some client surveys recently, and that's the feedback I get over and over again from all the people that I speak to about how much they appreciate how we can boil down all of their information, all their documents into meaningful information they can make important decisions with. So we really, really appreciate that about you, Jen. I know I do. That's not necessarily my superpower. I don't enjoy doing it as much as you do. I enjoy working through the client process and just asking questions, checking in on the client, and sort of zeroing in on places where I think they might still need more support. So I love the dual roles we play in meetings, where you're there all about the scenarios, what we're focusing on, and then I can sort of jump in with the client on places where I think they still need support, and really make sure we're bringing that to the meeting as well, and just also look at strategy. So I love our tag team. It's awesome. Now,
I did.
my final question for you is around team values. So Confidant Community, you might know TJP, Team Jackie Porter, has a number of team values that we care about. There's called the 7 Ps. If you don't know what they are, look them up. But I would love, Jin, for you to share what's your the team value that resonates the most with you.
Mm-hmm. So there are 7 Ps. I think that's a good number of Ps we have.
Yeah, we have something for everybody.
Yeah, something for everyone, sure, for sure. And all these I experience it throughout my day-to-day role. And I'll say persistency, which is one of our P,
Yes.
resonates the most with me.
Tell me about that. Why?
And it also really relates to wearing a hat of being a professional nagger.
Yeah.
And as someone in the role of giving advice to other clients, sometimes when I don't hear back from clients about the follow-ups or implementations, we were supposed to work on together. It sometimes there comes negative thoughts as well.
Yeah.
I start doubting if I gave if my advice was not adequate, or if I could have done something better for the clients to be more interested in implementing the recommendations. But a lot of times it's not really me, but it's just really the clients being busy. As going back to what we said earlier, we work with the business owners and lawyers, where a lot of them are really busy. And the more professionally we nag them and be persistent with following up with them, the more we end up being able to have clients appreciating it and end up implementing our recommendations.
Yeah, I mean, I always say to lawyers in particular, it's a good thing I have high self-esteem.
Yeah.
If I email you, you'll get back to me for like a week. I'm not going, oh my God, I wonder what happened. And I know, I mean, I'm completely joking. I do have high self-esteem, but I'm completely joking. It really is not about me. It's really about them. And it's about just their life getting in the way, which is probably one of the reasons it's taken them so long to get to some of these important financial issues that they already feel vulnerable about. That's why they haven't done it, because it feels like it's going to be hard. And even when it's not hard, other things get in the way. So again, we're trying to help people get the things that they say are important to them done. So I really appreciate you sharing persistence, one of the P's, as one of your team values that resonates the most with you. Confidant Community, at the end of the day, I'm just so thankful, Jin, that you're here today, that you came and that you shared a little bit about yourself. And it's all really in service of our clients understanding us as humans doing a job, right? Because at the end of the day, I think some other feedback I've gotten from surveys that we've done is they're just happy to know that at the end of the day, they're not going to be working with a robot. They're working with a real human being who, they're hoping has a passion for what they do, that can, walk them through the process, be side by side with them, helping them to make decisions. And they know that they can rely on down the road. And for us, we just want to make an impact. So Jin, I know you say all these things, and that the reason you even got in the business in the first place is because you want to make an impact. we want to make an impact on the clients that we serve. We want to help you if you're somebody who's a busy business owner or a busy lawyer who hasn't gotten a chance to get around to dealing with your finances, or you're a busy professional. We understand. These are the people we deal with every day in our practice. Yeah. And we're here to serve. So if you are someone who keeps thinking, I'm going to get to this, I'm going to get to my finances next week, next month, next year, and then 2020, you get to the end of 2024 and you're like, I just feel even more behind. Don't wait. Just talk to someone. I've got Jody on the call. She's already put up our information. We're happy to have a 30-minute session with you and just talk through what your financial goals are, what you'd want to accomplish working with us, how we can potentially add value to how you're doing things. If you are someone who are struggling, reach out to us. We're happy to have that conversation. And Jin, thank you again for coming.
No problem.
Were you able to find out how long ago did Kate Bush chart? I'm very curious now. If you find out, let me know, and I'll definitely post it in our live summary. So get a chance to learn get a chance to hear the entire conversation that we had today with Jin. Don't worry, Confidant community, we've got you. We're going to have a summary of all the things that Jin said about him, how he works with our clients, what his superpower is, what his team values. Don't worry, we've got you. We'll have all that information available to you because, again, we wanted you to get to know us, and all month long you'll be meeting different members of my team so you can continue to get to know us. So thank you, Confidant community. That's all we have for today for our live. If you enjoyed the content, you know how we do every week. Please share with someone who might need this type of information about how planners work with their clients. Feel free to like and share. Sharing is caring. And please stay tuned next week. We're going to have actually another employee, another team member from TJP come in and talk about what they do. I'm not going to tell you who. You're going to have to stay tuned. And remember, follow us for all the latest updates. See you next week, everybody. Have a great week ahead. Talk soon. Thanks again, Jin. See you later, everybody.
Okay, take care.